All right, so we are learning about proportions and ratios today. You have seen this before, so this is going to be a little bit of a review. Okay, so we're going to look at comparing proportions, seeing if they're equal or not, solving proportions, and creating our own proportions. So here, they showed an example of whether 7/8 or 7/8 and 49/56 are the same. 7/8, that can't be reduced, right? 7/8 is just 7/8. Okay, what about 49/56? That can be reduced, right? So they took out 7 for each, and then it ended up being equal to 7/8. So then those two proportions would be equal to each other. Okay? All right, so here we need to reduce these fractions to see if they are the same. 5/6, can that be reduced? No. 40 out of 49, can that be reduced? Is there a number that goes into both 40 and 49? 7. Does 7 go into 40? Nope. So can this be reduced? No. So these are not equivalent ratios.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, here we can also use cross products to determine if they are equal to each other. Okay, cross products, you guys call this fish, right? Yeah. Or butterfly. Is this the butterfly method? Okay, so when you cross, you end up getting 0.25 times 2 and then 1.5 times 0.6 equal to each other. And then you'll end up getting an answer. If they are not equal to each other, then they are not related. If they're equal to each other, then they are the same, have the same quality. This one, they are the same. So on this one, what numbers do we multiply together when we cross? So 5 times 15. So we have 5 times 15. And then 6 times 12 equals 6 times 12. What's 5 times 15?
75.
Is it 75? What's 6 times 12? 72. So, are those equivalent? No. So they do not form a proportion. That is not a true proportion. Okay, now we're going to be finding we're going to be finding a value for n to make it a true statement. Okay, so we are still going to do cross multiplication. So, but you're just going to have a variable in it, and then once you have the equation, then you just solve like we've been doing. All right? So here, which ones multiply together? R and 10. So I'm going to write 10R equals 9 times 7, which is 63. Last step would be to divide by 10 on both sides. Remember, show your work. And then you get, 6.3 as your answer. Yep. Continue to show your work. Here, we have to be careful because x minus 6, that is together. That is a quantity. So if you ever see a quantity, put parentheses around it so that you know. Everyone put parentheses around that one. So now we just cross multiply. So we have x minus 6 times 8. So write it as 8 times the quantity x minus 6. And then we have 16 times 5. What's 16 times 5?
80.
I think it's 90. 90. So now when we solve, what do we do?
Plus 6.
Distribute. We have these parentheses. Okay, we got to distribute first. So we have 8x minus...
Jagger's right.
Is it 80?
Yeah, Jagger's right.
Wow, good job, Jagger.
160 divided by 2.
What's 8 times 6?
48.
Here's 48. 48 equals 80. Next step, plus 48, right? What's 80 plus 48? 128. Last step, divide by 8 on both sides. X equals Is it 16? 16. Okay, so when you have quantities, put parentheses around them, and you have to distribute first. Okay? All right. Then now we're going to practice making our own proportions. So Trent goes on a 30-mile bike ride every Saturday. He rides the distance in 4 hours. At this rate, how far can he ride in 6 hours?
30.
How can I write this proportion?
30 over 1.
What numbers go together?
4.
He goes on a 30-mile
4 and
bike
6.
ride every Saturday, and he rides that distance in 4 hours.
30.
So for 30 miles, he rides it in 4 hours. So the 4 and the 30 go together.
That's what I said.
Okay? Equals, now since we put the hours on the top,
X over 6.
we have to put the hours on the top still. So keep them the same. And then we don't know how far, so we put X there. Okay? So the variables need to match on the top and the bottom. Their labels need to match. All right? So here, what do we do from here?
6 times 30 divided by 4.
Cross multiply, yep. So we have 4x equals, what's 6 times 30?
180.
180. Then we divide by 4.
D.
X equals 45. Trusting you. 45.
Yeah.
As you should.
So when writing proportions, what do you have to be careful of? What do you have to make sure you do?
Put this hours on top, or put the hours together.
Put the same labels either on the top or on the bottom. It doesn't matter where you put them. Just make sure they match across the board. Okay? All right.